Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. Let me give you a preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is this interview given to William Shatner after he went up in space on Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket, and he's interviewed here on the Live Today show. And near the end, he says something kind of interesting. It could be nothing, but I mean, he could have revealed something that wasn't supposed to be revealed to the general public. Anyways. Another one here, we have this drone captured a triangle UFO. Also have this old hard copy broadcast from 1995 of the Nellis Air Force Base UFO encounter. Also have this interview here of Einstein's assistant, Dr. Shirley Wright, and she talks about the time that they went to check out some aliens, and she describes the aliens in this interview. Also have this photograph here which claims to show the opening on the North Pole. I have this article here from the Black Vault of the Gemini 11 UFO encounter. Audio transcript with some photos. These are the photos that they took. I also have this article here about a lake, a temporary lake. There was a monsoon in Arizona, and this lake ended up, there was, I guess, some eggs in there that had been in there for a long time, but it produced these, supposedly these prehistoric, these dinosaur-like tadpole things. Let's see. Also have, oh yeah, and then the last two, not UFO related either, but these are just some strange creatures that have been found at the bottom of the ocean. I got this one here. Again, I've played these videos before, but not everyone has seen them. And this thing here called the Magna Pinna. And I think this, this squid here has these tentacles that go down like 50 feet, I think, or something like that. Anyways, let's play this here. Now, this is a long interview. It's just over 6 minutes long, but it's at the end that he says something that's kind of interesting. So let me just play that. Let me back up a little here.
It had
feels
everything.
Good. Yeah.
And the realization, once again, the fragility of this planet, the coming catastrophic event, and we all have to clean this act up now.
Well said. Well said. I kept thinking of.
Did you hear that, what he said? Let me play that one more time.
It had
feels
everything.
Good. Yeah.
And the realization, once again, the fragility of this planet, the coming catastrophic event, and we all have to clean this act up now.
The coming catastrophic event. Now, what the hell is he talking about? I mean, is he talking about, this global warming thing that's already in progress? Is he talking about maybe the magnetic poles flipping and they know? Is there a meteor, headed towards planet Earth? Or could it be nothing? Could it just be him being hyperbolic? But anyways, link will be in the description. Yeah, this one's, not that big of a deal. It's just one of these triangle UFOs, but, and it's kind of hard to see. I mean, here's an insert here, but you see it here. Actually, this is supposed to be in 4K. I think there's a 4K version of this out there, but this isn't the 4K version. Yeah, you can kind of see it right there moving. Well, that's that. They just keep repeating that over and over again, so you can check it out. Link will be in the description. Let's go to this. Yeah, this one's a long, it's almost 5 minutes long, but it's just this hard copy broadcast from 1995 talking about two, actually, they show you two different videos that were released by the military. And again, this is most likely in infrared, but let me just play a little bit of this.
And figuring out what it is.
Required this unknown object, aircraft sometimes. It seems to be hovering near.
Look at the readout in the upper right-hand corner. It says the object being tracked is over 10,000 meters away. That's about 6.5 miles. Whatever it is, it's solid and large enough to spike the radar return.
This target is fairly stationary until the very end, when it moves extremely rapidly. It must have a fairly large radar cross-section to return the signal back. That's why I believe the object was fairly large.
A second video from Nellis Air Force Base. This time, the target moves slowly above the horizon. Once again, radar operators have no clue what they're looking at.
They're familiar with all types of military targets. This very much surprised them. They're very much trying to figure out what type of targets these are.
Anyways, it's almost 5-minute long video. Link will be in the description. Let me go to this one here. This one here is about Albert Einstein's assistant, Dr. Shirley Wright. It says she made this stunning interview recording prior to her death where she tells the story of them being both flown to view alien bodies and crashed UFO debris following the Roswell incident. So let me just play a little bit of this.
Number 29, and were you there? What? I'm the girl either. When the last alien died, were you there at that point in time? No, I wasn't. I was back at the motel in a city nearby, and I had been told, and I would be able to keep the being alive. How many were there originally? 9. I saw 9. 8 bodies, and then later we communicated with that one, so there were 9. And can you describe they were? Or? Oh, I sure can. I remember that very well. They were a very light, soft, gray, I'd call it grayish green, really. And they had a slim, lean, they had no nose, but they had markings where a nose opening would be. They had eyes and a mouth, no eyebrows. They had ears. They had a very forehead, and I'd say relative to the rest of their body. And the ones that I saw were approximately maybe 5 feet tall, 5 feet 5, something like that. They're small by what a man did on Earth. What did their eyes look like? Their eyes were enormous. They were very prominent. They were the most obvious thing you'd see on their face. Were there any pupils? I noticed, but I never saw any pupils. What color were they? They were almost brown black. They were very, very dark. Were they all the same color in terms of the? Oh yes.
Yeah, I've showed photos of like a group of dead aliens, and I think there were like 9 aliens in that photo. So I wonder if that's what she's talking about. But I also find it interesting, about their eyes. And one thing that I want to point out, a lot of these abduction cases, when the people describe what the aliens look like, I think one thing people are missing is that, these gray aliens or any of these aliens that we do encounter, they're breathing our air, right? I mean, we've always been taught that, that air quality is different on other planets. We would have to have a life support system if we went to another planet because, the air might not be breathable. But apparently all of these aliens that come to this planet can breathe the air, which is why I believe they're not all visiting. I think, that there are these advanced beings that have been living in our oceans and they live in deeper caverns, but they're from this planet, which is why they can breathe this air. So all of this, all this talk of, when we see them coming from the sky, or when our ancestors said, the sky people, well, just because they came down from the sky doesn't necessarily mean they're from another planet. I mean, they could have, came out of the ocean up into the sky and then came down, and our ancestors just assumed that they, came from another planet, or maybe our scientists have wrongly assumed that that's what they assumed. But anyways, link to this will be in the description. This is just an article about this photograph here. It says first photo of the hole at the pole. Satellite ESA-3 and ESA-7 penetrate cloud cover. I have no idea whether this is real or not. But I'm a firm believer that our Earth is occupied. That we do have a hollow Earth, and so this could be true. And they talk about here the Admiral Byrd's journey, into the hollow Earth, and how he was supposed to keep that quiet and whatnot. But anyways, link to this will be in the description. Let's go to this article here. This is the Gemini 11 UFO audio transcript and photos. The following is a case that has been around the field of UFO research known as ufology for many decades, but it is rarely talked about nowadays as sightings from the 1960s are often overshadowed by more modern events. As the story goes, during the Gemini 11 mission, which flew from September 12th to 15th in 1966, astronaut Charles Pete Conrad Jr. and Richard F. Gordon Jr. performed the first ever direct ascent first orbit rendezvous with an Agena target vehicle. However, in addition to their missile, they encountered something they could not explain and even captured multiple photographs of it. So yeah, here's all the, their transcript of what they talked about. They talk about seeing something strange outside the window. But anyways, here are the photographs. This is the poorest of the two, and I guess this here is the best. Could be anything. Anyways, link will be in the description. This one here, nothing to do with UFOs, but I thought it was interesting that a monsoon caused these little prehistoric tadpoles to be born. How long can these eggs last by lying dormant? It says hundreds of three-eyed critters have emerged in Arizona following a torrential summer downpour that awakened them from their potentially decades-long slumber. As reported by Live Science, the tadpole-sized creatures, officially called triops, were discovered by visitors of the Wupatki National Monument in northern Arizona in late July. The crustaceans were spotted swimming around in a makeshift lake at the monument's ceremonial ball court, having been created by a monsoon that hit the desert landscape. While it's unclear exactly how long the critters have been cocooned at the location, their eggs can lie dormant in dry conditions for decades until enough water is present to rehydrate the embryos for the hatchlings to mature and eventually reproduce, repeating the cycle and laying eggs for the next generation. Wow, look at this little thing. So you're telling me that these things have never existed until now? I mean before in the prehistoric era? Anyways, I thought that was kind of interesting. And let's see. Now the last two, yeah, these two, they don't have anything to do with aliens or, anything like extraterrestrial, but they are definitely strange. Check out this thing here. As opposed to it like splitting in two and swimming away. I wonder if it got ripped in half. But anyways, that's that. And then there's this one here. This is called the Magnapinna squid. But check out this thing. The footage comes from Perdido, one of the deepest oil drilling sites in the world. It is impossible to identify which species of Magnapinna was filled due to the insufficient perspective on the subject's appendages. While little is known about Magnapinna squids in general, it is believed they can grow up to at least 23 feet, over 7 meters long. Oh, so maybe not 50 feet. But anyways, link to this will be in the description too. And that is going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll have more things like this. Take care.